Hello, my name is Chris Ty, and I'm the senior class president. This is Marian and Fooley, our senior class vice president. We would like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Belvedere High School's class of 2021. At this time, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Ryan Anderson, class of 2021.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Should I go now? That was outstanding. I know most people don't like it when I go off script, but I'm going to for a minute. Ryan, there's very few things that bring me to goosebumps, but that was it. That was just fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Good afternoon, friends, family, and honored guests. It is with great pleasure that I welcome everyone here today to this wonderful celebration of the class of 2021. It has not been an easy road by any means, and I appreciate the class of 2021 and their perseverance and all that they have overcome this past year. Thank you. I would like to begin today by thanking Mr. Barrick, Mr. Hoyt, Mr. Wildermuth, and our terrific maintenance staff for preparing our stadium for this afternoon's event. I would also like to thank our support staff for all of their work in helping prepare for this afternoon and helping our seniors navigate these uncharted waters. This includes Ms. Bergstall, Ms. Skoog, and Ms. Svensson from Guidance, Ms. Iorio, and Ms. Hesketh from our main office. Round of applause, please. I would also like to thank some of the awesome folks who have helped to make this afternoon special. This includes Miss Gately, Miss Golda, the other Miss Golda, Ms. Kerpat, Lee. Without their help, we could not have had such a wonderful program. Thank you. I would like to take a moment to welcome our Belvedere School Administrative team today. We have Dr. Edward J. Lazara, the Belvedere High School Principal. Way in the back, Mr. Chris Carabinas, our Belvedere Elementary School Principal. Mrs. Jessica McKinney, Director of Innovation. And Mr. Brad Bartow, our Belvedere High School Vice Principal and Athletic Director. It is also my honor to be able to introduce our special guest here this afternoon. From our Belvedere Fire and Safety, we have Chief Matt Scott, Belvedere Police Department, Chief Keith Wolfinger from the Belvedere Fire Department. From our Belvedere Board of Education, we have Marian, Stefan, our President, Catherine Pell, our Vice President, Dr. Robert Stepeth, Mr. Brian Smith, Mr. Doug Ty, and Ms. Colleen Williams. Representing Harmony Board of Education is Ms. Heather Weidlich, President. Representing the White Township Board of Education, we have Mr. Frank Panetta, the President. From Hope Township, Mr. Kevin Newman, the Chief School Administrator. And we are lucky to have one Hall of Fame member and one Wall of Fame member with us today. From our Hall of Fame, we have Mr. Andy Mark. Andy, happy birthday in a couple days. God bless. And we have Mr. William Thompson, who is one of our Wall of Fame inductees, as well as being here today as the White Township Chief School Administrator. We have with us today from Belvedere, Mayor Joseph Kennedy. From Hope Township, Mayor Timothy McDonough. From Belvedere Town Council, we have Mr. Donald Mitchell, Mr. Glenn Matlock, and Mr. Joe Roth. And finally, from the First Aid Corps, Mr. Tyler Erb, who's the captain, Mr. Sean Kennedy, our lieutenant, and Ms. Tracy Marsh, the president. Thank you for being here. On behalf of our teachers, staff, and the Board of Education, I congratulate you, the class of 2021, for all your accomplishments and your dedication to your advancement through these very difficult times. Class of 2021, for the last few months, we have taken a lot of time reflecting on the past, especially how our lives have all been greatly affected. I do believe that it is now time to look to the future, your future, and time to be excited about the opportunities that are ahead of you. As Thomas Jefferson once said, I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. But do take time to remember all the good times you had here at Belvedere High School and all the great things that you have accomplished. I would now like to take a moment to recognize our two retirees this year from the Belvedere School District, Ms. Stephanie Warabitz and Ms. Lisa Cundiff. Thank you for your dedication to our community and helping raise so many of our students. Thank you. I would also be remiss if I did not take a moment to thank Dr. Lazara for his 8 years of service and dedication to Belvedere High School. Dr. Lazara and his selfies, we just had one more before we walked out, will be greatly missed. Dr. Lazara, on behalf of the Board of Education, I thank you for your dedication over these last 8 years. Congratulations, class of 2021. And a special thank you to you parents. It's been a difficult run over the last 18 months, but you've done an outstanding job helping your students, our students, navigate these turbulent times. And we appreciate all your help. Thank you. Class of 2021, I thank you for all you've done to help advance Belvedere High School in your 4 years. I thank you for what you've persevered, and I always appreciate the positive attitude that you've had. Thank you, and the best of luck to you. It is now my privilege to introduce Ms. Marian Stefan, the Belvedere Board of Education President. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. Your education started with learning the alphabet. These 26 letters would serve you throughout your years at school. And as time went on, you learned to string them together to create words. Somehow, they even included them in math class, which was not always appreciated by all of you. You have all learned so many words during your time with us. You learned the grammatical usage of the words, how to say them in different languages, and can even score big in words with friends. Today, as you all prepare to embark on a new adventure, let me stress upon you the importance of words. We all have heard the term new normal over the past year, meaning a new way to expect things to be, a new standard, if you will. Some people say those two words with disgust. Some use air quotes when saying it as if the words themselves cause the confusion, controversy, and pain of the coronavirus. Words can change the world. They can inspire. They can create peace, and they can change lives. They can also spread hate. They can ruin lives. They can inflict pain, and they can create war. Someone once said, "You must be careful with your words. They can plant gardens or they can burn down forests." You must all remember that once words are said, they can be forgiven, but they will never be forgotten. I hope that you all go on to do great things, that you are successful, and that you are happy. But remember, those are my words. You must determine what the great things are. You must define success for yourself. If it's a president of a company, is it a family? It's up to you to decide. And happy, that is a choice also. You can choose to be happy every day. Happy that today you graduate. Happy for what you have accomplished. Happy that you are going on to college, a job, the military. The possibilities are endless. You have the knowledge. You know the 26 letters which create all the words that fill all the books in all the world. Please choose your words wisely. Know their strength and their power. Congratulations, class of 2021.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Stefan. Thank you, Mr. Karuba. You're getting me all emotional over there. Anderson, the pipes. My goodness. What a day. What a day we got today. You guys deserve this kind of day with the way the year has gone for you guys. You guys deserved a great day like this, and I'm glad everybody's here to celebrate with you. Good afternoon, Mr. Karuba, Ms. Stefan, members of the Board of Education, staff, family, friends, and students. It's with great honor and pleasure that I welcome you to our commencement exercises for the class of 2021. And I too would like to thank some people for their assistance for preparing this ceremony, Ms. Iorio, Mr. Barrick, Mrs. Golda, Ms. Golda, Mr. Bartow, Ms. Kerpat, Mr. Lee, Mr. Hoyt, Ms. Gately, many others. To quarantine or not to quarantine? That was the question all year long, along with many other questions, such as, are we in person? Are we remote? Are we full day? Are we half day? Can students eat? Can we take off our masks? Will we have to leave them on? Can we take our masks off if we're 6 feet apart? What about if we're 3 feet apart? Can we have the windows open? Can we go outside? Are we 6 feet apart? Are we 3 feet apart? How about sports? Can we play sports? Can we practice? What if we get quarantined? Can we still play? Can we stay remote? Can we play if we're remote? Can we ride the bus? Do we have to keep the windows open if we ride the bus? How is our ventilation system? Can we have spectators? Can we play without masks? Do masks have to be on? Can we have a prom? Can we have a graduation? Can we have a trip? Can we go full day? Can we stay half day? What about next year? Do we have to wear masks? Can we go full day? Can we eat lunch? Which leads us back to, do we have to quarantine next year? Which the answer to that would be, I just don't know. But this year was certainly interesting, and somehow we made it, and here we are. And since this is my last graduation at Belvedere, I thought all the graduation speeches I've given, taking a little theme of each one to share today. We have spoken about how we developed our 4 core values: tradition, community, academics, excellence. We've talked about what Belvedere actually means, which is a beautiful view. You sit here in the county seat and enjoy the beautiful view, which is certainly true. We've talked about how great it is to be a county seater, how much pride we take in that, what that means. We have spoken about our great school spirit, what our fall pep rallies look like. We've spoken about over 129 years of Belvidere High School graduations here. We've spoken about the strong sense of community that we have, our excellent teachers, our caring staff. We've spoken about Cedar Nation. We've spoken about how we all believe in Belvedere. We have spoken about how we empower our students and we give them a voice. We have spoken about how we all believe in Belvedere. We have spoken about so many great things that happen at Belvedere High School. Now we will turn our attention to the class of 2021. And you guys have certainly had an interesting 4 years here, to say the least. Today, you have all the answers. You just graduated high school, you're going to college, entering the workforce, you're going to the military. Life is pretty good. There are a couple things I would like to share with you as you leave Belvedere High School today. One, you have spent the last 4 years thinking your parents don't know anything. What do they know? They're old. They don't even have social media. Most of them think TikTok is some kind of a clock. Well, you're about to quickly realize that your parents, the ones that know anything, they're pretty smart. They've been there. They've done that. They love you, and they want the best for you. Listen to them as they will share with you all of their mistakes in the hopes that you will not repeat them. I really appreciate the help coming from one of you. And number two, you can't do it alone. Build relationships, seek out mentors, take the classes with the toughest teachers. They will challenge you the most. Make the most of your next 4 years because they will go as quickly as your past 4 years. Class of 2021, congratulations and the best of luck. It's my pleasure to introduce the salutatorian, Benjamin Durr.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my honor to address the Board of Education, the administration, faculty and staff, honored guests, family and friends, and most of all, the graduates of Belvedere High School's class of 2021. Graduation is a celebration of our achievements and our personal growth. It's a time to look back at where we were just 4 short years ago and to remember the moments that shaped us into who we are today. Going into high school, I imagined graduation would be an incredibly happy experience, but now that I'm standing here addressing my classmates, it seems more bittersweet than I anticipated. Those of you who know me know that I'm a numbers guy, and being true to my nature, that's what I've been thinking about lately. I'm 18, I think most of you are as well. I've spent 12 of those years, 13 if you count kindergarten, being educated on how to be a functioning member of society. That's roughly 2/3 or 67% of my time on this planet thus far, and I'm about to receive a handshake and a piece of paper for it. Now, I know this sounds depressing and like I'm belittling our education system, but I swear to you, there's a happy ending coming. Please don't boo me off the stage just yet. The key thing to remember that a lot of us forget is that numbers aren't everything. Let's say you got a 72 on an essay in your sophomore English class. What are the odds that you'll look back and remember that someday when you're in your 30s? You've got a job, you pay taxes, you have a billion other things going on in your life. Zero, zilch, there's no chance. If we fast forward to your retired years, do you think you'll wake up in the morning thinking about the salary you got when you had a job when you were 40? No, you just won't. If you're not thinking about grades or money or any other quantitative measurement of success, then what will you be thinking about? What will you remember from the past 4 years that marked the conclusion of your childhood and the beginning of your future? I'll tell you what I'm going to remember. Decades from now, I'm still going to think about the friendships I made during my freshman year in cross country. I'm still going to think about the spontaneous trips to Chick-fil-A, talking to my friends around a campfire. I'm still going to remember the teachers who taught me more than just the curriculum, but about life. Belvedere isn't a big school by any metric, but we have something here that just can't be measured. We have the sense of family that comes from a tight-knit community where everyone knows everyone else through all the highs and lows. Being greeted by familiar faces in the halls and having teachers who know you by name are luxuries that some people just can't even fathom. These are the things that we will all remember. To the teachers, thank you for putting up with all of our shenanigans and enabling us to face the world with confidence. To the parents, there are no words to describe the sacrifices you made to bring us to this point, but thank you nonetheless. To the future graduates, I know it's a cliche to tell you to get involved, but alas, that is the truth. If you take anything from this speech, please remember, in any given moment, ask yourself what you can do to make it a memorable one. Your years here at Belvedere High School are precious treasures, so don't take them for granted. This isn't intended to suggest that you should always choose fun over academics, since you'll need to remember your studies as well as the fun times. All I'm suggesting is that you find a productive balance. Finally, to my classmates, regardless of how close we were, I'm grateful for the time that we spent sharing the halls of this fine school. As we move into the next chapter of our lives, the same philosophy applies. Do what you'll remember. We're still young, we should enjoy it. We're given one life to live, and it's our responsibility to live it to the fullest. As Benjamin Franklin said, do not squander time, for that's the stuff is life made of. Pursuing a career is incredibly important, but the memories you make along the way are what make it meaningful. I wish you all the best of luck, and I look forward to seeing all the great things I'm sure you'll accomplish. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. And now our valedictorian, Ethan Devine.
I don't want to keep you for any longer than necessary because I'm sure everyone has places that they'd rather be right now, so I'll try to keep this brief. Honestly, when I first began writing this speech, I had no clue what it was going to be about or what direction I wanted to head in. I knew that I at least wanted to avoid any cliches such as, this is a new beginning, or we will look back on these days for the rest of our lives. But while writing this speech, I realized how hard it is not to say any cliches. So with that being said, I believe that we will look back on these days for the rest of our lives and that this is a new beginning for all of us. Despite these years being some of the most formative of our lives, none of what happened here is going to be permanent. Although it may be surprising coming from someone who put forth a lot of effort in keeping my GPA high, it is important to realize that once we graduate, how we performed in high school, our grades, our GPA, they do not have that much effect on our lives. Any mistakes that were made and any regrets that we may have will only be a memory as we enter into our futures. High school is not the destination to any of our lives. When we inevitably look back on these years, I urge you to reflect on your time spent here at Belvedere High School and grow from it, because I know that we all have more potential than we realize. High school is a time where you can begin to discover yourself, but doesn't leave that many opportunities to pursue and learn whatever you are passionate about. Unless you are an athlete or love doing schoolwork, high school is not going to be the ideal place to fully indulge in what you like most. However, after today, this will no longer be the truth. You can go to a college that specializes in what you want to do, you can surround yourself with like-minded people, and you can... Sorry, I lost my place. And you will be able to specialize in a way that public schooling does not allow. This isn't to say that Belvedere High School was not a great place to learn and prepare for the rest of our lives, but it is to say that anyone who felt that they didn't have that many opportunities at Belvedere should not close themselves off from all the doors that have just opened for them. From this point forward, no one is going to be able to stop you from doing the things you want to do, and no one is limited because of the place they come from.
I would like to end off this speech by thanking the faculty, staff, and administration for putting forth their best effort to make our lives as normal as possible during the pandemic. I would also like to thank all my fellow students for having the patience to wait through my entire speech when they most certainly would rather be celebrating with friends and family. I want to give a huge thank you to my parents for making sure that my high school experience was the best it could have been. And finally, I wish the best of luck to all my classmates. I have no doubt that all of you will be able to accomplish anything and everything you wish to achieve.
All right, thanks, Ethan. Great job. Ben, also, great job. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the Teacher of the Year, Miss Antoinette Bader.
Okay, take a breath. Ground yourselves. Feel present, because I know what you're feeling inside. You're like all over the place. But this is going to be a good speech, so you really have to just be present. I honestly was going to do like spoken word or sing you a ballad, but we didn't have time for that. Welcome, parents, friends, family, fellow faculty and staff, administrators, board members, and you, the graduates. It is truly an honor for me to be addressing all of you today. Well, Cedars, you made it. Through your perseverance, your determination, and your grit, you are proudly seated here today as champions. You beat the year that was 2021. Seriously, think about it. You survived a pandemic, Google Meets, toilet paper shortages. I mean, is there anything you can't do? You're just showing off now. I'd like to share a quick story with you, or more like an observation, about how special and unique Belvedere Cedars are. It was my first year teaching here in 2015, and I was in the media center one day, and I noticed a student left his phone in the power zone. I don't know if you guys remember this power zone. It was like in the corner. Anyway, I saw a student plug in his phone and walk away. And I was about to ask him, I did ask him, where are you going? And he said, I'm going back to class. I'll pick up my phone at the end of the period. And I was about to ask him, aren't you worried that someone's going to steal your phone? But I stopped. I decided to hold my tongue because something dawned on me. This school, this community, was almost like the Garden of Eden, unmarred by the evil and corruption of the outside world. Okay, maybe that's an overstatement, but what this observation taught me is that students at Belvidere High School have a unique respect and integrity that you will not find in many other places. And that's a beautiful thing. A beautiful view, a beautiful thing. So cherish that and hold on to that. Okay, so now what? What do you guys want to talk about? What should we talk about? Oh yeah, quotes. Ah yes, I love quotes. Let me read you a quote by Oprah Winfrey. You guys know her, right? Surround yourself only with people who are going to lift you higher. Guess what? I don't like that quote. Sorry, Oprah. Although I love quotes, I'm not a fan of this one because what it does is it makes your happiness and your success conditional. Sure, in a perfect world, you'd be constantly surrounded by people who would adore you and encourage you all day long. And you know what? You'd be killing it because it's easy to be your best when you're having a good day and you're surrounded by people who love you and get along with you. the reality is, this isn't a perfect world. In fact, nothing is perfect. Actually, life is filled with obstacles, sometimes at every turn. And there are days that you feel like the world is against you, and you might even ask yourself, is this some sort of a sick joke? The truth is, adversity and struggles will always exist in your life. The question is, how will you react to them? Now, you can choose to wait for the conditions to be just right, but I hate to break it to you. You'd be waiting a very long time. So when you're facing adversity, my advice to you is to lean in. No matter the hand that you've been dealt or the hardships you've faced, face these obstacles head on. Refuse to be discouraged. Although life can feel uncertain and even broken at times, you must believe that there is always something better as long as you are willing to work for it and fight for it. Rise above the voices of doubt, face the problem, and be your best possible self in all situations. This mindset will not only allow you to merely survive, but to thrive. So my closing message to you, class of 2021, is to keep pushing forward even when you don't know what's ahead. The world is a dark place. You've seen it firsthand. But you, O dwellers of Eden, you are the light. We need you. We need your spark and your innovation and your optimism. But most of all, we need your hope. Always hope for the best, because I promise you, the best is yet to come. Thank you, God bless you, and congratulations to you all.
Miss Stefan, I hereby certify that the students seated before you have satisfactorily completed all the requirements for graduation as prescribed by the Belvedere Board of Education and have met all the requirements of the State of New Jersey Department of Education. Therefore, without any reservations whatsoever, I recommend these students be awarded their diplomas this day, the 16th day of June, 2021. Ms. Stefan, it is my privilege to present to you the Belvedere High School class of 2021. Mr. Bartow, could you please come to the podium?
Ethan Devine. Benjamin Brown Durr. Kyle Sheldon. Jalen Crystal Barkley. Carolyn Leanne Muscat. Alyssa Ann Zekis. Kelly Ann Jones. Kara Marie Westgate. Kimberly Ann Colobus. Noah Cook. Christopher Ty. Mariana Elizabeth Christofoli. Sarah Jansen. Corey Banghart. Molly Lynn Duppeth. Hunter George Lenzi. Zoe Ann Anglum. Dunya Abdullah. Vanessa Rose Lee Adamczyk. Ryan Patrick Anderson. Kristen Apgar. Kayleen Harley Baylor. Ethan Bellinger. Emily Bentley. Brandon Michael Berger. Arthur Badukowitz. Chris Bonamo. Mia Caitlin Bulmer. Sarah Burge. Sean Spencer Call. Sophia Cajamira Campana. Justin Castaneda. Hannah Elizabeth Grace Chalmers. Liam Finley Chapman. Kaylee Coglin. Bernard Jose Coronado. Jacob Mason Kreger. Daisy Lynn Kruba. Ben DePinto. Michael Duckworth. Shane Exley. Aiden Ferrulo. Travis Fickner. Jenna Marie Fiore. Carson Grogan. Max Hornbaker. Tyler Hover. Ty Logan Jean. Keith Jenkins. Rebecca Grace Kaler. Justin Michael Kane. Riley John Cardos. Sydney Kaza. Jillian Rose Lydell. Tom Lydell. Kinsey Ryan Lockard. Emily Elizabeth Luna. Alexander Correa Marks. Ian Curtis McDonald. Sandy Mitchell. Jessica Alexis Moore. Asira Natal. Kira O'Neill. Marquise Panetta. Caitlin Marie Pavlock. Damaris Obed Perez Martinez Ramirez. Annabelle Louise Peter. Adriana Laura Pawarchek. Dylan Thomas Richardson. Angela Rodriguez. Brielle Ashlyn Rollison. Olivia Margaret Rose Santini. Kayla Shonk. Giovanni Marcello Siriani. Jaden Southwell. Christopher Brennan Stansky. Sarah Nicole Sutton. Abigail Laura Thornton. Ty Tiedemann. Michaela Gina Tingoli. Thomas Turner. Carly Alexis Vogler. Sage Walter. Tyler Walters. Jamar Williams. Hannah Mae Wolf. Jordan Yisley. Olivia Mae Zamuski.
Mr. Ty, you come up, please. Oh, and Miss Chris Fooley also.
At this time, we invite the class of 2021 to move our tassels from the right to the left to signify the transition from student to graduate.
Can we throw it up in the air? Can we throw it up in the air?
Hold on. Okay. All right, graduates, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2021.
I have bobby pins in my hair.
The Alma Mater. Do the Alma Mater now.
Should I wait?
Yeah, that's it. You can say it.
Okay.
Let everybody get their caps. Tell everybody, please stand. Everybody, please stand for the
Now? All right. Please stand for the Alma Mater.
Where the pink west joins the Delaware on the spot so dear, stands the school we love so well, 'tis fair Belvedere. Dear old high school, how we love her, long may she endure. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail to Belvedere. As the fleeting years go by, may she stronger grow. Only honor and great glory she shall ever know. Dear old high school, how we love her, long may she endure. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail to Belvedere.
School.